You ever just sit there and wonder, you know what? I really wish World of Warcraft would have player housing. I wonder what World of Warcraft would do with player housing. What's going on? Has anyone heard anything yet? It's been a while. I wonder what Blizzard is cooking. Well, we just found out a couple days ago that Blizzard is not just cooking, the ratatouille is smelling delicious. Friends, if, like we've said before on this channel and other people have said on other channels, if Blizzard were to take all the recipe books from like Guild Wars 2, Star Wars The Old Republic, Black Desert Online, Final Fantasy 14, and they just said, okay, these are all the recipe books for player housing, let's just put them all together and see what happens. That's pretty much what they did, and then they added crack to the whole thing, and then it just went crazy. Friends, there is so much going on with player housing right now, and we're only getting the tip of the iceberg for this. Friends, make sure you hit that subscribe and become part of the family here of Boomy Nation, my friends. Yes, for more World of Warcraft videos. So when it comes to player housing, I've already done videos on what to expect, but we have more information. Okay, if you're like myself, I have an Alliance toon and I got a Horde toon. I don't really play my Horde toon too much because, you know, Horde smells. But if we do, we get a house for Alliance, and you also get a house for your Horde toon as well. So you technically get two houses, and you also can have different factions in a neighborhood. And don't worry, there's no PvP, and there won't be any guards trying to zug you all day long just because you try to walk past your neighbor's mailbox. No worries there, my friends. This is supposed to be not just a safe place for you to go, but this is literally going to be a place where people spend hours decorating these houses. It's really kind of crazy just how in-depth and how just nuts this player housing is. I thought one of the most interesting takeaways that I got from watching the interviews and watching the videos was that Blizzard has been working on this for years, and they weren't quite sure they were going to be able to do it with the age of the engine that World of Warcraft is currently on. But the engineers did their trick and figured out a way to make it all work, and then they're like, okay boys, let's go. And they went, and now we're getting the fruits of their labor, and we're going to see so much more. And that this team even has leads on it. The housing team is not just like, you know, hey, Bill over there from Questing, come over here and do this. Hey, Sarah over there from, I don't know, the store, come over here and do stuff. No, it's a dedicated team. This is what they do. Player housing is an evergreen thing now for World of Warcraft, or at least will be when it goes live. And now we have dedicated people. That is their job, is player housing. So what are the other things that we do know about this? So some things we do know about this is that player housing for World of Warcraft, they don't want to be some static thing. They don't want to just be like, well, I just went to my player housing and no one's there and it's really boring and I saw a butterfly and that's it. They don't want that. They want it to be communal. They want to have a community. That's why there are neighborhoods. They want people to interact. They want people to be able, and we're going to, in the MMO, we are going to do this, right? They want people to have parties, holiday parties, Christmas parties, Halloween, this, that, or the other thing. They want people to group up and do things, and that's naturally going to happen. There's going to be freaking block parties. We all know this. I can't wait for that to happen. There's also going to be seasonal things too, right? They're going to tie that into your player housing, which completely makes sense. Why wouldn't they do it? Kind of feel like SWTOR would forget to do that if they ever had something like this. But the great thing I love about this is that they want it to feel like it's alive. Like when you go out into the world in World of Warcraft, you go on to Hollowfall, you go on to, I don't know, to Northrend, you go anywhere in World of Warcraft and it feels alive. There's creatures there, there's bugs doing their thing, sometimes there's weather, but that's what they want inside your player housing as well. And I can already tell you, I'm going to spend way too much time with player housing. And another cool thing I saw on this was that every race in World of Warcraft is going to be represented, and I love that. You want to have your trolls have like a troll house. You want your orcs to have an orc house. You want your night elves to have their winter garden and their summer garden and all their other things that night elves do. I don't know why I'm giving them shade, because I love night elves. That was one of my very first characters, was a night elf, and I love me some night elf. What can I say? I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be great. Wonder what void elf will look like. That should be interesting. But not only are they going to do that with races, they are doing that with the decorations. Now, they did say that about when this first launches, 60% of the decorations or decos that you will have are already in the game. They're already game assets, while 40% were going to be brand new. And that's going to be changing down the line as they create more and more assets for you to decorate your houses with and to do more with. And in either way, if we've been playing for a long time, we will be rewarded. We'll be able to go to a vendor maybe, and we'll be able to go and reap the rewards that we have been collecting unknowingly for 20 odd years to do it. So we're not going to have to go run ICC for another decoration again, because we've already done all the crap there. And that's going to be like, you know, the AI that appears is going to be like, he's already done that 5,000 times. Let him have a stupid chair. It'd be great. Or whatever you've done in World of Warcraft, whether you're hunting bosses, you're hunting mounts, you're doing all the raids, you're doing LFR, you're doing dungeons, scenarios. Those are our things. I actually really like scenarios. Delves, all those things. That's all going to be accounted for. So you're not going to have to be like everyone's going to go in with a clean slate until they go to the vendors and pick everything out, or it just gets to you, however that's going to go. I love that idea. They're going to reward you for that. Now, with that said, people have asked, is there going to be pay to win on this? And the answer to that is, well, no. We will be able to craft stuff in our player housings. We'll have our crafting tables and all that jazz, but there's nothing that's going to give us a leg up on anything. You're not going to be able to, you know, I did my blacksmithing here in this house, and it was freaking amazing. I got a plus 10 in stamina. My poo don't stink. That's not going to happen. It's going to be equal playing field. There's not going to be any pay to win. Will there be stuff on the store? Yes, obviously there's going to be stuff on the store, and they said it's going to be run around the same line as mounts and pets and stuff like that do. And to me, that's okay. That's fine. I played this game for over 15 years. I've got so much crap I'm sure that's coming my way. It's like someone like said, hey, just let you know, we found 15 U-Hauls filled with crap with your name on it, and be like, oh, it's going to take me a while. That's how I feel with this. But also along those lines is there are going to be rare items for people to chase, from whether that's coming down from a boss, of a brand new raid that they have coming out, or stuff like that. There's going to be stuff for us to chase, and I also love that because I love chasing mounts. I've gotten most of the rare mounts, except you freaking invincible. But I love the fact that you'll be able to, like, you know what? I want to go in and I want to find this awesome fountain that's really super cool, and I want to make it really, really small, because that's something else you can do as well. You can change the sizes of any deco you have. You can make anything that's really small gigantically big. Now, you'll have only 3 floors to do this with at the beginning, but who knows? Sky's the limit, possibly. This whole thing reminds me of Doctor Who and the TARDIS, where it's small on the outside and looks big on the inside. And that's pretty much what this is going to be. You have so much control inside this housing. You can either be basic B, or you can just go straight up advanced and just go madhouse crazy, dye your furniture, dye all these things together how you want it to be. It's literally like they went in and went, listen guys, here's some dev tools, and you just create your own thing. Have fun with it. We can't wait to see what you guys do. That's what we have been seeing in player housing so far, and I have not seen anything come close to this from any other game. I know that some have come a little bit close, but Blizzard just like, well, how about no restrictions? You just pretty much, you have 3 floors to work with. Go hog wild, go crazy. Okay, let gamers be gamers and do what gamers are going to do. And one of the things I do love about this is that for those of us who FOMO over stuff of this type of nature of stuff, we don't have to do it. It doesn't affect your gameplay. You play how you want to play. You build how you want to build. You raid how you want to raid. And that's what the great things about World of Warcraft has always been. You found your niche, you go do it. And this, the housing will be there. You might collect some stuff from drops from dungeons and raids and LFR and whatnot, but you don't have to do it. It's not going to give you an edge. You might miss out on a couple block parties that were really cool and people got way too drunk and did some weird things on a Moonwell on Moonguard, but we don't talk about that. However, you can do what you want. You can have... Blizzard is pretty much making this literally to be your own thing. And I love that. There's not going to be many restrictions. You're not going to have to... If you don't FOMO much, you don't need this at all. I've already seen some people on the internet going, oh, this is cool. Not my thing, but party on to you guys. It doesn't affect anything else. Doesn't affect the regular play. It doesn't say, okay, guys, we have to go to our houses. We have to sleep for 10 minutes. And for that, we get a special buff to go do a raid. It's not in there. Friends, there is so much coming our way not just in World of Warcraft, but in player housing the player housing literally could just be its own expansion at this point. From everything I am seeing and what we're seeing on screen, it's a bit nuts, and I am here for it, and I love it. I love that Blizzard has taken the time and the due diligence to put this together and didn't just slap it together like, here's a couple hooks, you guys, just put some stuff there, put a murloc on a ceiling, have fun, that's player housing. That would have crashed and burned and been dumb. Instead, they took the time, they put love into it because they knew this is something the players wanted and have been wanting for years. So big shout out to everyone at Blizzard, especially team working on player housing right now. Guys, you're doing an amazing job. I cannot wait to dig into it and have fun and just do streams where I'm just decorating all night. It's going to be great. It's like this old house with Boomy. If you've seen the other videos, and not just this one, but you've heard about it, you saw the stuff, what are you most looking forward to player housing? What is it about player housing in World of Warcraft seems different than other games that you are more familiar with? Let me know all these things in a comment section below. Make sure you hit that like button, the bell notification button, and share this thing like crazy. Helps the algorithm out quite a bit. And I know most people who watch this don't subscribe. You should, because I would love you, and my beard will give you eternal life. Either way, my friends, you want to have early access to a video, become a member to the channel, and hey, you also get a monthly podcast as well. I just released one. And yeah, why wouldn't you want to do that? It would also help me out quite a bit. Thank you very much. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, become part of the family here at Boomynation, the freak show YouTube, the black sheep of gaming. And as always, my friends, remember to be kind. It's about community, and don't forget to spay and neuter your murlocs. We'll see you later, my friends. Good day.
Big tales on every shore. Hit that button, ask for more.